I want to tell you today about something I find a little distressing in the United States. What can you tell me about the Kardashians? Don't actually say anything, but what could you tell me?
Not much.
Not much. It's a good starting point. What could you tell me about Audie Murphy?
World War II vet,
That's it?
basically.
Alright. That highlights my issue with the current America. Audie Murphy was a World War II hero. I'm going to give you a brief rundown, and then I would like to hear your thoughts at the end. I'll give my own, of course. Audie Murphy was born on June 20th, 1925, in Hunt County, Texas, and passed away May 28th, 1971. In his early life, his father abandoned them, and his mother died young. Audie Murphy took up the mantle of house head, left school in the 5th grade to go pick cotton, and he then, using that money, kept his family fed, and with the skills of the hunting rifle, further helped. Shortly after, World War II broke out. Audie Murphy was not what I would call a standard man. With the help of his sister, he enlisted and served with the U.S. Army, although initially rejected for being underweight. This man did not give up. He knew what he wanted to do. He wanted to help. So at the tender age of 17, he joined the Army, went through basic and advanced infantry training before shipping out and fighting in World War II immediately, assigned with the 15th Regiment. Their motto, can do. And I think that fits Audie Murphy to a T. I could tell you a whole litany of facts, but I'm going to focus on one important one, which is how he earned the Medal of Honor. If you are inclined, I would strongly recommend that you look into his backstory. He's one of the most decorated World War II soldiers, earning damn near every medal for his valor in combat. However, this is focusing on how he earned the Medal of Honor. He was a staff sergeant at the time. Keep in mind, he served during World War II and enlisted as a private. He made it to staff sergeant in E6. No easy feat, but he did it. Basically, they were under attack. His unit was hurt, so he stepped up to the plate, using an M1 carbine. And directing artillery fire via radio. This man held the line, solo, for over an hour. After his units begun their retreat, he then jumped on top of a burning tank. A tank that was literally on fucking fire.
Oh, and he shot the guns.
Yep, he took up the 50 caliber.
Yeah, that was on History Channel.
Yep, and he fired and fired till he ran out of ammo. What History Channel may or may not have covered, though, was that he received an injury while that happened. After he was able to push the Germans back, he reconvened with his own troops, refused medical attention, and led an assault, routing the Germans. That's how he earned the Medal of Honor. Obviously a very brave, took a lot of valor, a lot of commitment to do that. I'm going to go on a little bit into his afterlife so you understand why I'm a little shocked that Audie Murphy isn't more well known. From 1948 to 1969, he was in more than 40 films, including the film To Hell and Back, which is his own memoirs on World War II, where he played himself. In that film, he recreates the shot of him fighting off the German battalion. I believe it was a battalion. Fighting off the Germans with a 50 cal. However, due to his service, he suffered from PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and often slept with a loaded handgun under his pillow. He was plagued by depression, insomnia, and nightmares. Unfortunately, he fell into a trap that many service members do. He became addicted to a certain drug. Audie Murphy, a man of character, did not fall to standard drug usage. He fell to a sleeping medication called Placido, which was highly addictive. What I found to be remarkable is once he realized his own addictions, he locked himself into a hotel room to break himself of his own addictions. No one helped him. He did that of his own accord. Furthermore, which this part I find particularly brave because this is something I struggle with on my own. After the vets came back from the Korean and Vietnam War, Audie Murphy openly talked about his own struggles with post-traumatic stress disorder, sleeping with a handgun, becoming addicted to sleeping pills, the nightmares, the insomnia, all of it. He then called upon the government to dedicate more time and study to this disorder. And it's because of him that PTSD stopped being referred to as shell shock. Because of this man, it was recognized as a serious disorder.
Good on him.
He now rests in Arlington Cemetery and is one of the most visited. Now,
American hero.
exactly. Now, I'm going to tell you my own personal thoughts on Audie Murphy. To me, he's the embodiment of a hero. From a young age, he's always stepped up to the plate, whether that was to ensure his family had food or protecting the men under his charge and doing what needed to be done. Through his actions, he has saved many lives and has a very positive impact upon veterans today. I've met many people in my service. Some fantastic leaders, others lazy. Even an individual who continued to report combat engagements simply so he could get a stupid damn ribbon for it, which I find to be despicable. However, I've never met anybody quite like Audie Murphy. Through his actions, he's proved something to me, that he is a true leader. Leading from the front with actions is nothing short of inspirational and not common seen on the battlefield. I've only seen that once with one of my other lieutenants. Funny story. I came up to help them set up booby traps. We were involved in the push in Sangan. They had some small trenches dug out. I saw this dude sitting on top of the trench with his M4. This is the man that is in charge of us, leading from the front. And it's not something that I've seen often enough in my military service. More often than not, it's somebody calling me a jackass, telling me I'm stupid. But at the same time, relying on me to watch him while he sleeps. Men like Audie Murphy, rare, few, and far between. What I found more remarkable was he kept the ideology of leadership and responsibility from when he was young, through his service, and even beyond. Facing his own addictions, standing up and speaking on PTSD, and one interesting fact I found out about him. Later on in his life, he did struggle with money issues. However, he refused to appear in any alcoholic or tobacco-driven products, simply because he viewed it as an irresponsible use of his fame. Through the few moments that I've highlighted in Audie Murphy's life, I know that the world will still know more about the Kardashians, more on reality TV, more on social media stars. With this series, I hope to not only educate you, but show whoever decides to watch a brief glimpse into somebody that I believe is worth looking up to.
Amen.
So what do you think about Audie Murphy?
I think he's an American hero.
What
I
else?
think he's a man that deserves to be better recognized than half the two-thirds, 100% of the celebrities out there today. A man that gave his life, dedicated his life to ensure prosperity for others around him, safety, security. Needs to be recognized, maybe get a day named after him.
Well, that's all we have for you today.